Hello, my scrumptious ravens. It has been a really long time since I have posted a video. I'm so sorry for that. For anyone who was very diligently following my weight loss journey, I apologize for being so out of the loop. Basically, it's been a little over 90 days, so I thought, why not do a 3-month progress update and see where I am with my goals that I had set out in the beginning of my 3-month journey. So shortly after the last video I posted that was part of the weight loss journey series, I fell into a really bad mental health phase, I guess, and it was really hard on me, and I just could not keep up with any of the YouTube videos. I couldn't keep up with a lot of things in my life, and I just wanted to make sure that I at least was sort of keeping up with the weight loss journey. So although I wasn't eating the healthiest, although I wasn't extremely regular with my workouts, I was trying my best to be regular. I was being conscious of what I was eating, and I was trying to keep up my water intake. So I am happy to say that I started off my journey at 176.9 pounds, and today I'm weighing in at 165.2. So altogether, over the course of a little over 30 days, I have lost 11.7 pounds. So I'm super happy about that, and I thought I would share some tips, some things I've learned over the course of my weight loss journey that is continuing, by the way. So first things first, sleep. Sleep is so important. One thing I realized while I was on this journey is that because my mental health was so bad, I was getting sometimes 3 hours of sleep, sometimes 4 hours of sleep, and it felt like I was like plateauing a little bit. Partly I think because of what I was eating and not being super physically active, but also I think sleep definitely had something to do with it. So make sure that you're getting enough sleep, at least 6 hours, like at least 6 hours. I think for me, at least for my body, I think would be the minimum. And after that, anything else is bonus, but 6 hours would be great. Mental health days. As I said, had extremely difficult mental health days where I was just not okay. I was just sobbing at the gym. I was sobbing at home. And those days, some of those days, I still pushed myself to go to the gym. And then after the gym, I felt like a little bit better. I wasn't completely okay, but I felt a little bit better. But take your mental health days. Those days when you are like at your lowest and you really have, you just have no energy. You know how sometimes you're really sad, but you have a bit of energy to like get dressed and go to the gym and make it? That's fine, do that. But there are certain days where you're just so broken. You're just devastated and in pieces, and you just want to curl up on your couch, and either you want to eat some comfort food, or you just want to sit and watch TV, or you just want to sit and cry. I definitely had those days. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't. I definitely had those days where I wasn't productive, and it was an integral part of my journey because your mental health is just as important as your physical health. And if you're not mentally okay, your drive, your ambition, your goals, your vision, all of that is just not going to happen. So you need to, I think it's important to take care of your mental health. So take your mental health days, take those days, but be conscious of the things that you're not doing, so that at least for me, that was a little bit of a motivation. Like, okay, I can't let myself have like 4 days in a row where I do this. I can have a day, I can have 2 days, but the third day, like, I gotta pick myself up and go to the gym, even if I'm crying at the gym. I was at the gym actually one day, and I had actually really recently, and it was a really bad emotional day for me. And I went to the gym and I was crying the whole day. I was crying even while I was playing Valorant. I was crying. It was just a really heavy day for me. I was not okay, and I bumped into one of my friends at the gym, and he asked me like, oh, how are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm okay. Like, I had a whole like crying session at the gym. This is when I was leaving the gym and he was coming in, and he said during our conversation, he gave me one of the funniest but like realist advice. He said, you know, you're doing one of the best things for yourself, which is coming to the gym and, you know, improving yourself, improving your body, improving your mental health, but come to the gym. You can cry here if you want. Cry if you want, it's totally fine. But finish the fucking set. And when he said that, I chuckled in my head, but I was like nodding in agreement because it makes sense. Even if, you know how they say do it scared or do it apprehend, like you don't have to be in a perfect state of mind to do something. You can be afraid and still do something. And that same thing applies for the working out and going to the gym and, you know, going to your, you know, completing your goals, going to work, doing all those things. You're not happily going to work. You're not happily going to the gym, but you're just doing it even regardless of what your mental state is like, and you're completing what you need to complete. And I really like that advice. At least for me, it really stuck to me. So that was a good piece of advice. And that is not to say that our feelings are not valid. If you're sad over something that happened to you, or you're sad over some wrong that was done to you, you're completely valid in having those feelings. I'm just talking about sometimes when you get deep in a hole, there are certain things that might help pull us out. And these are one of those things that you kind of like can randomly refer to and think, okay, you know what? I'm going to use this to pull myself out of that darkness. But baby, trust me, some days you just want to stay in that darkness, and that's okay. Again, it's okay to have your mental health days. Just don't let it consume you. I also realized over this journey, I just wrote all this stuff down. My weight fluctuated a lot. It was like 3 pounds this way, 3 pounds that way, 2 pounds this way, 2 pounds that way. And thankfully, I started to kind of expect it, so it wasn't completely destroying my mental fortitude towards, you know, my weight loss journey. But I know if there are people out there who are severely relying on the scale to kind of project your process and your progress, you are going to be disappointed, because there will be days where you'll drop like 3 pounds and you'll think, oh my God, this is amazing. This is helping. This is happening, you know? And then the next day you'll be up by 2 pounds. It's just how it goes. It's just how it is. I also noticed one thing. I was not checking my weight at the same time every single day. That could be another reason why my weight was fluctuating so much. I don't know, but I know it is recommended to check your weight at the same time, you know, every other day or so. And take pictures. That's another thing I did not do. Take pictures, take videos of yourself, you know, either in the nude or with like, you know, your undergarments on, whatever article of clothing. But I would say less clothing the better, because you're able to see your muscle definition better. I know when I'm fully clothed and I'm at the gym and I'm like pumping weights and all that, the only way I can tell my progress really is by the amount of weight that I'm lifting, right? Because I can compare it to last week or the week before and be like, oh, I was only able to hit 20 and now I'm like lifting 45 or 40, whatever. But when you visibly have a record of what your body looks like from week to week in the same lighting or relatively same lighting, around the same type of like day and same pose, it's a really great comparison. So definitely take photos and pictures and videos as well. 2 other things that I wanted to mention overarching about my weight loss journey is that as soon as I kind of started taking my weight loss journey seriously and I started really, you know, focusing on drinking water, getting my protein in, trying to get enough sleep, going to the gym, there were so many comments on my skin, so many people, and this is not me trying to sound conceited. This is me just sharing that it's crazy how there was a direct correlation between what I looked like before and then what I looked like now, like once I've been actively pursuing this weight loss journey, or like healthy lifestyle changes, where people started noticing. And there are people who like generally don't really reach out to me and talk to me, but they were like, bro, your skin is glowing, like I see it, you know, keep it up. So that's something that will you know, something that I experienced. And the last thing that I want to share before I go into like diet and all of that stuff is I did experience a lot of hair loss. Now, I don't know if it's because of the weight loss journey that I started experiencing hair loss or because of all the stress that my body is under. I don't know, but all I know is I'm sharing what has happened to me in the last 3 months, and I have experienced a lot of hair loss. So I do want to mention that. Another thing that I wanted to say about this weight loss journey is that, you know, wait, what was I saying? Shit, I just had something. Damn it. I forgot. Okay, well, let's move on to the diet portion. So the diet portion I found was harder to keep up with than the exercising and the weight and the going to the gym. I got into a habit of going to the gym, or I have gotten into a habit of going to the gym to the point where when I miss it, I actually, like, it starts bothering me. And maybe it's a dependence that I've developed on the gym to solve my problems and make me feel better. But hey, better than resorting to like alcohol and gambling and, you know, doing all kinds of 𝗥𝗲𝗁𝗍𝘀𝘀. But in terms of diet, the easiest breakfast that I found that was a great grab and go and great for my busy lifestyle is the mason jars, in which you put Greek yogurt, so 3 tablespoons of Greek yogurt. You put some granola, you kind of eyeball it. It's about 1/3 of a cup. And then you put in your fruits. I usually did blueberries, and the best, I tried blueberries, I tried kiwi, I tried strawberries, I tried mango. And out of all of the things that I've tried, the best tasting little granola parfaits were the mango and the blueberries. Those were my 2 favorite. So if I were you, I would stick to those 2. And also make sure when you are preparing for the yogurt parfaits, you don't overbuy your fruits. That's a mistake that I made when I was experimenting with the parfaits. I was like, I'm gonna get a pear, and I'm gonna get strawberries, and I'm gonna get this. The problem is you can't buy limited quantities of these items. So you'll get like a whole container of blueberries, you'll get a whole container of strawberries. And if you're only trying to make 5 jars or 6 jars for the week, there's a lot of fruit that's gonna get wasted, especially if you're only using it for your granola parfaits and you're not eating fruits outside of those parfaits. So I would recommend 1 pint of blueberries, like 1 container of blueberries, and 2 mangoes. That's it. You do not need more than that for your breakfast, and I think that should give you about 6 servings. When you have time, omelette is also a really easy breakfast that you can have. One thing that helps me with my omelette is I cut the green pepper, the red pepper, yellow pepper, onion, and had shredded cheese beforehand, and cut or had spinach prepared beforehand. And what I mean by that is, for the spinach, as soon as I got the container, I took the spinach out of the container, took out any, rotting leaves, and then I took a glass container, I lined it with paper towel, I put the spinach in it, and I put another piece of paper towel on top of it. Apparently the moisture is what makes the leaves go bad quicker, so you just kind of slow down the rotting process with the paper towels in the glass container. That should last you about a week. And then the peppers, I cut them up. Same thing, I line a glass container with paper towels, put the cut pieces in there, and then put the paper towel on top. Onion, I just cut it and put it in a plastic container. And then for the shredded cheese, I use, I think it's called a griddle. I got it off of Amazon, and I freeze my cheese so that I cut it so that it's easier to shred. I just cut it into a block and I just put it through the griddle, and then I have a container of shredded cheese. Now, I was thinking about this recently, about the whole shredded cheese. I don't know if it actually adds a taste to the egg. I don't know if it's because I freeze the cheese that the flavor is taken away, or if the cheese that I use is just not really flavorful, so I'm just adding calories for no reason. I don't know, but I will say the omelets that I make without the cheese taste equally as good as with the cheese. So it doesn't really make a huge difference IMO, in my opinion. Another thing about my whole diet part of my journey is I wasn't calorie counting, but I was calorie conscious. So that allowed me to not focus too much on exactly what I was eating, but just kind of have a general idea of like, this should be okay calorie wise. The other thing that I wanted to mention is make sure you drink lots of water. So what I would recommend is buying a container like this. I got this off of Amazon. I think it was like $30. And if I can just finish this in one day, this is about 1.89 liters. I'm pretty set. That is a good amount of water to be drinking in a day. I mean, ideally 2 liters, but 1.89 is pretty good. And that way you don't have to. One thing I was noticing is I was getting lazy with getting out of my seat, going to fill my water, going back, going to fill my water, going back when I was having the 500 ml bottles. And this way you just fill it up in the morning and you have it throughout the day. Yes, it's heavy, but I found it easier that way. What else? Oh, I was able to have cheat meals in moderation and still see progress. So I had a cheat meal like maybe once a week or so. But again, what I mean by moderation is if I was treating myself to pizza, I didn't eat 6 slices of pizza as I normally would in the past. I had 2 maybe, or I maybe had 3, or yeah, 2 or 3, and then maybe I skipped out on dipping. Like there were little modifications I made so that I could enjoy the cheat meal, not cheat day, cheat meal, and still, you know, stay kind of consistent with my health goals. Oh, it helped to meal prep on Sundays, especially for my lunch and dinner. And for lunch and dinner, those were kind of hard meals to make because I didn't quite know what to make. So what I would do a lot of is omelets, and I would do a lot of like chicken breast cut into pieces with veggies and put in the air fryer, and that was my meal, sometimes with rice, sometimes without. But like broccoli and chicken pieces, or some kind of veggies and chicken pieces. And I did make other meals with shrimp and stuff, but I don't know if I'm gonna make those again. I did recently, literally just yesterday actually, make a chickpea curry, and that one had relatively healthy ingredients, and I think that's gonna be a new staple. I'm gonna put the link for that recipe in the description box as well, so you guys have access to that. I think that's actually just a great like kind of chickpea soup that I can have. And if I'm feeling like it, maybe 1 slice of bread, that healthy bread. But I think even if as a curry, you can just kind of eat it. And I added shrimp in there too. Last but not least, the food situation. I finally figured out 2 really good dessert recipes. So this is specifically for people who struggle with their sugar intake over their weight loss journey. I understand, baby, I am with you, but I'm happy to let you know that I figured out 2 recipes that I found online. I kind of modified them a little bit to fit the ingredients that I was able to find, and they're protein chocolate chip cookies and protein brownies. And listen, I would not lie to you and push you in the direction of making these if they tasted horribly, because I want my desserts tasting good. If I am going to eat something sugary, it better damn taste good. It better not actually taste healthy. And I gotta say, the brownies that I made might be like the best brownies I've ever had in my life. So definitely try out that recipe. The protein brownies were really good. The protein chocolate chip cookies were really good as well. So that concludes the food section and all those things I learned. Lastly, the last section I wanted to talk about of lessons learned and things about the weight loss journey is the gym. So going to the gym was really therapeutic for me. It's something amazing to go to an area where everyone is kind of on their own grind. Everyone is on there for their own reasons. And trust me, guys, if you are worried about going to the gym and you're worried about like people watching you, nobody's watching you. Yes, they'll occasionally glance at you. Sure, they'll like make eye contact when you're walking in the gym, but that's just normal. Even when I'm like doing a set and someone walks down the stairs, you'll just glance. But no one will stare at you. No one's laughing at you. No one's like really gawking at your form and stuff. Of course, having good form is important, but you don't necessarily have to worry about people like making fun of you or anything like that. I've been going there for so long and no one's ever made fun of me. Someone has corrected my form, which I openly invited, and I was happy about that. Because she was preventing me from getting injured, and it was basically when I was deadlifting, I was looking at myself in the mirror to make sure my form was good, and she said, you're going to damage your neck and you're going to hurt like your spine and your neck area, so just keep a neutral spine and your form looks great. So just remember how it feels and just, you know, keep replicating that feeling. And don't be afraid of people, you know, maybe coming in and correcting your form. It rarely happens. This person has only done it twice to me, and like we've developed a relationship. That's why she felt comfortable coming the second time and telling me. But in like all the months that I've been going there, this has only happened one time, like with this one person, right? Twice with this one person. So don't worry about that. If that's something that's keeping you from going to the gym, do not worry. No one is looking at you. No one's gonna make fun of you. If you're trying to like test your limits and you want to go for a new personal best, go for asking that. I know it's awkward to ask for a spot, but everyone I've asked for a spot so far has been so nice, and they've even like said, you know, good job and whatever after you finish. So don't be afraid of pushing your limits as well and asking for a spot. I know for the squat rack it's a little, you know, you might not feel comfortable asking for a spot. I've never asked for a spot on the squat rack. I'll just adjust the barrier higher so that when I go down and if I can't push back up, I'll just like let the weight drop on the bars beside me. I haven't actually needed those, but you know, use those. If you are working out solo and you don't feel comfortable asking for a spot, use those safety features that are built into the machines. They really are there for a reason and they are helpful. I've seen people use them. I haven't myself used them. They're always there like as a backup plan, like I'll adjust them, but I never end up needing them. Headphones versus buds. I think this is something really important to talk about because I love the feeling of headphones. They feel very secure. They feel like you don't have to keep adjusting them and pushing them in. They're easy to touch the buttons to like move through your music. But one thing I've noticed about the headphones is if you're doing any kind of cardio or like HIIT workouts, they are not your friend. If you're doing push-ups, anything where your head is bowed down, I guess, for a long period of time, they're gonna slowly start slipping and it gets very annoying. At least for my headphones. I don't know if maybe there are headphones out there that you guys have that don't do that, but my headphones kept doing that and it was very frustrating. So I kind of went in between those and my earbuds, and my earbuds stopped working, by the way. Only one works, so I would only have one in sometimes for certain workouts. So just be mindful of that. If you are going to be doing like burpees and push-ups and all of that, your headphones will probably slide down. So you have two choices, right? If you know that's going to be part of your workout, switch out the headphones for earbuds and just have your earbuds in the whole workout, or take them off for that set, whatever you're doing. Another thing is, I know it can be really overwhelming going to the gym. When you're going to the gym, you see everyone like in their zone and you're like, what do I do? Like, I want to do legs, but do I just like go do all the leg machines? What do I do? Or you go online and on social media, people are saying, do this for your next leg workout. Or, oh my God, this is such a booty blaster. This is a great shoulder workout. There's so many videos out there, and I will admit and say that I have gotten so overwhelmed with all of these videos, and it's amazing that there's so much content out there. But at the same time, for someone who is just trying to build the habit of consistency and going to the gym, it can get very overwhelming. So I would highly suggest that you plan your workouts beforehand. This is my trusty little book, and I take this with me to the gym all the time, and I just kind of write down beforehand what the workout is going to be, and then I leave space. See, I write down what the exercises are that I'm going to be doing beforehand. I just leave space for them, and then I fill it in as I go. So for the first one, for example, hammer curls were on the list of things to do. I wrote what was the pounds that I used in each hand, 12.5. I did 10 reps and 3 sets of that. And then next we have RDL at the rack. So Romanian deadlift at the rack. It was the bar plus 15 pounds on each side. And I just wrote that it was about 75 pounds altogether because I think the bar is 45. 10 reps, 3 sets. So, you know, I just had my and it's not a lot. That's the other thing. Don't complicate your websites. Your workouts. Don't do like 10, 15 different exercises. You don't need to do that much to see progress and lose weight. What is important is pushing yourself to failure. Like each rep should be a struggle. Because if you're, let's say you're doing bicep curls, right? And you're like easily pumping through them, you're not going heavy enough. It should be like a struggle. Every curl that you do, it should be a struggle. And by that last rep or last 2 reps, you should be shaking and struggling. That's how I found the most progress and felt the most strength. And this is really important to have because guess what? This was written, I think, like 2 weeks ago or so. And now when I go to the gym, I have a reference point. Like, okay, if I'm doing hammer curls, last time I did 12.5, let me see if I can do 15. So definitely get a little notebook and just write down your workouts in here. It's really a great way to keep track of everything that you've done. And what I started doing was I started writing the weight that I had the morning of when I did that exercise. Oh, make sure well, for me, something I did or something I was very diligent about is having my pre-workout beforehand. I'll show you guys what I had for pre-workout. So this is the pre-workout I had, 𝗵𝗵𝗿𝗶𝘆 137. And then after my workouts, I made sure I had my protein shake. I got this in Chocolate Obsession, Diesel, and I also have the vanilla ice cream one. So those are 2 things that I was pretty diligent in making sure that I was having. And in terms of gym time, I found the early mornings like 6 to, I mean, of course. Okay, actually, let me just say it like this. The hours between 11 p.m. and 8 a.m. are your best hours if you want to go when it's dead. There's something about going to the gym when there's barely any people around and it just feels different. I love it. I love that feeling. But of course, those are ungodly hours. So if you are unable to do that, just kind of like go to the gym at different times and figure out what time works for you. My typical workout looked like a little bit of a warm-up, which was just a little bit of stretching and a little like 2-minute warm-up, which was just actually I can't even say that I did any jumping jacks or anything. I literally just did stretching on the mat and then went right into my workout, and then did like 5 minutes of cardio maybe afterwards, which was jogging or walking, and then a little stretch afterwards. And sometimes I even skipped the stretching. So I am being completely transparent with you guys and letting you know that that's how my workout went. I'm not gonna, give a false illusion of, yeah, I did 20 minutes of stretching and then a 20-minute workout and then, an hour on the stairmat. No, ain't nobody got time for that. Okay, for me right now, where I am in my journey, yes, it's about seeing progress, but right now my biggest priority is building the habit, building the consistency, because that's what's gonna last. Consistency, having that vision of, a life in which fitness is an integral part of my life. And I feel like I'm really getting there, so I'm happy about that. I hope that this video was helpful in some way or another. I'm sorry that it was so long. It's been so long since I've updated you guys on what's been happening in my life. And unfortunately, after that last video, even though, if you guys remember, at the end of that video, I was like, I'm doing well. Everything's good. Right after that, I focused on myself and just tried to make sure I was mentally healthy. And then I fell into a dark space. And on top of it, I was losing my job. So that was so stressful trying to land another job, because if I lost my job there, I would have lost access to any internal postings at my company, and I would have been having to apply as an external everywhere. It was so stressful, you guys. It was so stressful. And I think I was also upset at how it all went down. Like, I felt kind of betrayed by, you know, the people that I was working with, and it was just horrible. It was not a good feeling. And you know, the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new chapter, it was a lot for me. It was just making me feel like I was internalizing all this horrible stuff, like, oh, maybe if I was a better person, a better worker, like nobody wants me, nobody loves me, and you know, all of these horrible things that you start to think of and you start to kind of internalize, and you think it's just relating to your job, but you start to internalize it about you as a person, not just you as a worker. So it was really a horrible time, and I'm really glad that I'm out of it, and I hope that I continue to stay out of it. But I already know that I'm gonna have days where it's okay and I'm okay, and then there are other days where I'm not gonna be okay. So we just gotta enjoy the good days, be ready for the worst, and be kind to ourselves. And the last thing I want to say is that I'm excited to announce that I am going to be going on a trip to Jordan, which is a country in the Middle East. I'm taking part in the Jordan Trek Challenge, and we are raising money for the Syrian refugees who have sought refuge from the Syrian civil war in Jordan. So they're in Jordan right now, and about like 78% of the population is living below the poverty line. They're living in refugee camps. And so any and all donations are going to be going towards education and safety services for the refugees. It's going to go towards like electricity and heating for the refugee camps. It's going to go towards psychosocial services for the refugees, and also towards things like business training programs, especially geared towards women, to empower them and help them create sustainable sources of income. So that's an amazing initiative. And what's cool about this Jordan trip is I will actually be able to go to the head office or the offices of this charity and see their groundwork, see their work with the Syrian refugees, see their progress with the services that they're providing as part of this initiative. So I will be able to give you guys like real time, you know, information and video footage of, you know, where your money is going and how it's helping people and what the projects are looking like. So I'm very excited about this initiative, very excited about this trip, and I do hope that you all can be part of it in some way, even if you can't donate. I will put the link to the donation in the description, but even if you can't donate, if you can just share the link with your communities, that would be awesome. With your WhatsApp groups, with your work distribution list, with your families, it would be really appreciated. And also, last thing I want to end off with about this weight loss journey is it is not easy, guys. It's a really difficult journey. It's a really difficult thing to do to change your life and make all these lifestyle changes. It's very easy to get comfortable in, you know, sleeping in and saying, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. It's so easy to get comfortable in like letting things pile up. Like, if you guys could just see what is happening on my bed right in front of me, there is a pile of laundry that needs to get to, and I just spent an hour cleaning the kitchen. I understand. I'm human too. I'm not like, you know, like a fake influencer who's just like, I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, I have my matcha green tea, and I have time for everything. You know, no, that's just fake, okay? People have lives, people have mental health issues, people have work, people have like family responsibilities, some people have kids. You gotta just make a schedule that works for you. And I just want to say that this journey is difficult, but you know what? You are going to be benefiting so much from it. We're going to be benefiting so much from it. All these changes that we're making in our diet, in our, you know, healthy eating, in our drinking water, in our sleep schedule, in our spiritual well-being. Religion has been another thing that's really helped me through these difficult times. So I'm very grateful to have the religion of Islam to turn to. But whatever religion you follow, if that's something that's important to your lifestyle, definitely turn to that. Definitely like make time for that, make space for that in your life, because it is very, very therapeutic to have these things to rely on. And I'm just wishing everyone so much goodness, so much good health, so much happiness, so much peace in their lives. And I really do hope that we all continue to strive to be, better people and improve our lives in whatever way that we would like to. So as always, I am wishing your heart and your mind and your soul and your spirit and your body peace and good health and happiness and goodness. Please choose to be kind to yourself and to others. Stay safe, my boo-boos. Stay scrumptious, my nunus. And don't forget to spread those scrumptious vibes. Take care. Have a wonderful, lovely day. And God willing, I'll see you all in the next video if I am healthy and able. Bye-bye. Raven out. Bye, everyone.